So I guess it's time to do a review of these Pedaling Innovations Catalyst flat pedals. So I got these from Phil at Trail Talk MTB. Big shout out to you, Phil. Thanks a lot. Your videos are killer. You're doing a wicked job. If you guys haven't watched any of his stuff, definitely check it out. So Trail Talk MTB on YouTube. Follow him on Instagram. He sent me these to demo. We've been back and forth a little bit. I kind of like the idea of them, but wasn't too sure about the length and whatnot. So basically, I'll put them on, you know, planning on maybe doing 3 or 4 rides and see how they go. And after a couple of rides, I couldn't really find any weaknesses, so I wanted to crack on and spend a bit more time with them. Now, I've got to mention that he's set up these pins a little bit custom, so you can see there, he's got like a high-low setup. So highs on the outsides, and then lows in the middle. And then as you come around, you got high-low, pretty much the whole way around. Now it is quite a long pedal, and is basically flat, a little bit concave. So you can see that it raises up a little bit at the back there, and it raises up a little bit at the front. And it also raises up because of the pins. But it doesn't keep you too high, and I think if you watch his review, you'll kind of get a better idea of what he did with these pins. I think he was saying that with all of the high pins, you kind of float on top of the pedal a little bit too much, which I didn't find at all, because he's obviously changed it to suit what he thinks works well, and I really couldn't fault them. Hey, at first I was finding in my normal riding position, my feet were kind of migrating, well, not migrating, but over a bump or something, if they ever got a little bit loose, they'd just migrate forward a little bit, which I wasn't a big fan of. But once I got used to them, that really wasn't an issue. They're not as wide as my nuke proofs. I think they're about they're 5 or 10 mil narrower platform itself, which a lot of people are looking for a wider platform to give them more security. Now I've found with wider platforms, you do get, you know, reasonable grip. I've got a size 10.5, 11 foot or shoe, and you do get good support from a wide platform, but you also get a lot of pedal strikes. So on the sides of the trails, you're taking up more space left to right on the bike. So especially narrow trails or trails with, trails with a lot of off-canvas stuff on it. So I didn't like the Crank Brothers stamp, for instance. I didn't like how wide they were. I was clipping them on the edges of trails. Even the one-up aluminiums, I was clipping them a little bit. They're quite wide as well. My nuke proofs, I don't have too many troubles with that. And these, really didn't clip them anywhere. I clipped them in places where I would have clipped the pedal anyway. So there's a spot on Horsenall's Gully where I clipped it pretty hard into a rock. It was actually the left-hand pedal, and no real damage. You know, little scuff. Pins are killer. Everything's good. Security, standing on the pedal, they feel killer. Climbing up, the concave feeling feels great underneath here. So super happy with the feeling. Long-term pedaling, like, you know, long, flat, like long, kind of relentless climbs, no worries. I did think that I was going to have an issue dropping my heels a little bit, like kind of when you get real rowdy on flat pedals. See if I can describe it with my hand, but so that's your foot. You kind of like do a monkey grip with your foot to grab onto that pedal a little bit sharper. So you dip your heel and grab onto that pedal a little bit sharper with your foot. I thought, being a long pedal, I'm not going to be able to do that, but which kind of was the case a little bit, ever so slightly, but it wasn't to a detriment. It wasn't. I really didn't see it as an issue. The overall security, to me, in this setup, the way the pins are set up and whatnot, was better than my nuke proofs by a little bit, not by much, a little bit. Just felt more secure. There's more platform to put your foot on when you've taken your foot off for a, you know, loose moment or whatever, and having to put your foot back on. You can kind of put your foot anywhere, and it feels really, really good. It feels really grippy. They're straight on. Bearings have been killer. They've been excellent pedals. So I've had them on for a few weeks now. So I'm not sure if Phil was expecting me to have them for this long, but doesn't matter. I'll put them back in the post this week, and I've been really, really impressed with them. Hey, At first I thought they were going to be a bit gimmicky and a bit lame, and you know, I definitely wasn't into the long platform. But after riding them for this long, the only downside I can see to them is the weight. They're about, I think they're 525 or 545 grams, maybe a little bit heavier than that. I'd have to double check, but they're in the 500s, so they're a heavy set of pedals. They've got all the standards set up, so they'll fit in a crank trailer. All that stuff's all fine. Like I said, the narrowness, which they're really not narrow, but they're narrower than what I've been using, ever so slightly. And I like it. I like them narrow. I think the longer platform gives you more than a wider platform, for sure. Maybe more confident, more stable, and I'm definitely impressed with them. Would I buy them? I probably won't, just because of the that extra weight, and I've already got pedals that work really well. So my next endeavour is going to be my nuke proofs with the race face Atlas pins, which are the race face pins are the best, most grippiest pins I've ridden on. So I actually got the Atlas pins from Phil as well, so spot on, Phil. My nuke proofs, I'm going to run the Atlas pins to increase the grip. So I've got the platform of the nuke proof, which is a perfect concave shape, and then I'll have the pins of the Atlas, which is going to be absolute ultimate grip in my opinion. So I think that's going to be the perfect pedal. But if you're into a new pedal, these things, honestly, outside of that little bit of extra weight, I can't see a downside. They're really, really good. I will say that on their website and you know, the information that they give you, they recommend riding with more of a midfoot position. So let me go grab a shoe. We're into the dungeon. So we got the 510 Freerider, Impact Pro, which are a decent shoe. Not the best, but they're decent. So I ride about there. You know, give or take, I ride about there. Now they're saying to ride more midfoot. To me, riding midfoot really doesn't make any sense, because you're now taking away that ankle joint mobility and stability. You're taking away, it just feels weird. It doesn't feel right. So I did a couple of climbs trying to emphasize putting my foot midfoot. Didn't like it at all. And especially if you're going to turn back downhill and ride more midfoot, you're going to smash your ankles to pieces. So definitely don't subscribe to the idea of riding midfoot with these pedals. But riding in your standard pedaling position, they were killer. They were, you know, have a look at the spread. So like I said, they're not super wide. So if we look from underneath, you can see it doesn't cover the entire shoe. But it doesn't matter, hey. It really doesn't matter, because the length that this pedal covers really inspires a lot of grip and a lot of confidence. So Pedaling Innovations Catalyst, big ups for pedal performance. I've got friends that run them, that, you know, since me getting on them, they've said, oh yeah, I run the Catalyst and they're wicked, blah, blah, blah. They've had them for ages, no issues with bearings or anything like that. They seem to have good good support and backup through their website. Yeah, wicked. Well done, Pedaling Innovations. They're killer. The Catalyst. So again, cheers, Phil. I'll get them in the post this week, and yeah, right on. Thank you very much.